Hi, boys and girls. Uh, so, Superman was always my favorite superhero. I mean, I like the Hulk too, but I love Superman. He's awesome, and I always wanted to fly just like him. I'm a little scared, so I'm gonna try using a parachute, and we'll see how good I can fly. You ready? Watch this. Oh, that hurt. All right, so my parachute didn't work out so well, but you can make a parachute that will work really well. I don't want you jumping off a ladder like I did, crazy, but we can make one kind of like this. So I got my little Batman dude right there. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make a parachute in a couple different ways. All right, so here are the supplies you're going to need. A pair of scissors, some string. If you don't have string, you can use dental floss, or you can use thread, or anything that's like string. Yarn would work. You're going to need either a plastic bag, a piece of paper, construction paper or notebook paper, or a piece of tissue paper. This is what you get your presents in. So one of those things, plastic bag, construction paper, or tissue paper. If you have the tissue paper, you're going to want a pair of hole punches. If you're using this paper, you're going to want a ruler. And you're also going to want some tape. Okay? And that's it, really. That's all you need. So let's see how we do it. All right. So the first one I'm going to do is the easiest one, I think. It's with the plastic bag. This is just a Publix bag. And first thing I'm going to do is cut off the handles. We don't need them. Okay, so no handles. Now, all I need to do is make a square. So I'm going to cut up one side of the bag, like this. And the other side, like this. And then cut off the bottom part, like this. And the way you make it a square is you take it and you fold in to make it kind of like a, let me do it this way. Make it kind of like a triangle, but it's got this, you can see it's got this little flap left over. So there's a triangle. I'm going to cut off this little flap, so like, sorry, it's a little windy today. Okay, so you end up with a square. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Look, I got a little jaggedy thing right here, but that's okay. All right. So the next thing you need is string, and I'm going to cut myself 4 pieces of string. About, I don't know, about this long, probably about 1.5 feet. Doesn't have to be exactly 1.5 feet. Just make them all about the same size. So I'm going to measure them like this. And I'm using string because I have it. If I didn't have it, I could use dental floss, or I could use thread or yarn, just like I said before. There's 2. So next, all you got to do is take your plastic bag square and tie it onto each corner. I like to do like a triple knot. So I go once, twice, and 3 times, just to make it strong. So this is where your tape comes in handy. So I'm going to take the string and a piece of tape. You should probably have your tape done ahead of time. And just tape it to the bottle cap. You want to keep them all equally apart and all kind of lined up with each other. Okay, so if I put this one here, I'm going to put the next one right here. So it's a quarter of the way around. Okay, like so. Okay, so following my strings around, I have one here, one here. Now I'm going to do this one. Turn it again, a quarter of the way around. Trying to get all my strings the same length. If they're not the same length, that's okay. If your bottle cap goes down crooked, that's fine. It's not a big deal. So this one should be right across from the first one I put on, which it is. All right, so let's say you didn't want to use a plastic bag. You could use a piece of tissue paper. This one happens to be big, so I'm going to make a big one. But it's the same thing. If you don't have a big piece, remember you got to make it into a square. So I'm going to fold up. Here, I'll tilt this down so you can see. I'm going to take this corner and fold it up to there. So I get my triangle. And this extra flap, just like on the paper bag, I'm going to cut that extra flap off. Almost there. Okay. So now I have a perfect square. And you know how I know it's a perfect square? I can fold it in half, and fold it in half again, and it makes a perfect square. Okay? So, the next thing we're going to do is reinforce the corners with some tape. So I'm going to put a piece of tape right here. And a piece of tape on the other side. And I'm going to do that to all 4 corners, just to make the corner. Okay, now is where a hole puncher comes in handy. If you don't have one of these, it's a single hole puncher. You can use your one that's in your binder. Or if you don't have a hole puncher, you can have use a pair of scissors and you poke a hole in it. Just be very careful, don't cut yourself. If you're not comfortable doing it, ask your mom or dad or an older brother or sister. So you're going to hole punch each side. Okay? So each side is going to have a hole in it right through the tape. Okay, so I already did this one. So all 4 corners. And next, all you're going to do is just like with the paper bag, you're going to cut 4 pieces of string, same size, tie them just like with the plastic bag, and then tie your thing onto it like your bottle cap, or if you have a Batman, or if you have a Lego, or anything you want to tie on the bottom of it, you can tie it. Okay, so the final one I wanted to show you is with a piece of paper, and I'm going to angle my screen down so you can see it. So this is where you're going to need a ruler. Okay, so I'm going to, or you can fold the paper too. If you fold it in half this way, so you get a center line, and then fold it in half again, so you get a center line. So when I open it up, I have a crisscross. Okay. However, with that, I want to take my ruler and cut a little bit out of each side. So I'm going to make a mark with a pencil, 2 inches on each side. I have a pen, not a pencil. So I find the 2, and I go from 0 to 2. Find the 2, put it on the edge like so. 0 to 2. Again, I find the 2. And then the 2. Next, now that I have my mark, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut that right to where the 2 was on each side. Okay, so now that I have it cut, I'm going to tape each side. So I ran out of Scotch tape, so I'm using duct tape, which is perfectly fine. I'll do it on the outside, I think. If you have a glue stick, that works just as well. So basically, I want you guys to use what you have in the house. I don't want you to go crazy. Say, Mom, please go out and buy me this and buy me that. Use what you have in the house, okay? I don't want you going crazy. I tried to make projects for you guys that you don't need a lot of supplies with. Okay, and last one. All I'm doing is I'm taking it and I'm folding it over each other like so. I'm taping it down. So now it makes like a little parachute. Now I have my 4 strings. I already cut these ahead of time. And again, I'm going to take tape. And I'm going to take it and tape it onto the inside. If you have a glue stick, that's fine. I think tape works better because I think the glue stick, it'll come apart. It'll unglue. Okay? Like that. There's one. What do I do with them? One to each side, trying to keep them all the same length as you're taping them.